Ever since the No Kings protest this past Saturday, I've seen a lot of online conversation and discourse about resistance, about what's the most effective way to make change. Some people feel like the protests aren't enough. Some people think that it's the art or online organizing, or we shouldn't organize at all, or it's the community work that moves the needle. Everybody got their own ideas, their own method, their own reasons. And it reminded me of something I wrote back in undergrad. I mean, when I tell you I wrote a long paper, my God, a research paper on the efficacy of the tactics used during the civil rights movement that helped to erode segregation. I studied the boycotts, the sit-ins, the marches, the protests, Rosa Parks, the Montgomery bus boycott, all of it, and how every act, big or small, that it was a piece of a larger resistance. And what that paper taught me is that it was never one thing that changed America. It was everything. I was just talking about this with a dear friend of mine, and where we landed was somewhere that really stuck with me and became the Tevelation for today. It has to be everything, everywhere, all at once. From the smallest thing, like correcting misinformation, signing a petition, or showing up for your community, to the biggest things, like marching, organizing, creating art that challenges power. All of it sparks change because every act shifts ideology. Every act changes the culture. And once you start to change the culture, you can start to rebuild these raggedy systems. We love to debate, was it Malcolm or Martin that made the real difference? But for me, and I say this with full respect because I don't condone, Malcolm's vision all the way. But it was both Malcolm and Martin. It was the entire spectrum of resistance, the peaceful and the forceful, the loud and the quiet, that together made the ground shake. And here's the thing. We cannot protest on Saturday and then sit back, cross our ankles, rubbing them together, and order an Amazon on Sunday. The work don't stop when the cameras do. The resistance has to move forward day after day, every space that we touch, all the ground that we cover, because we are the remaining guardrail that stands between what is and what must never again be. And that means we can't afford to stop. So however you resist, through protest, policy, through art, conversation, keep going. When it feels small, keep going. When it feels slow, keep going. When it feels like nobody is paying attention, keep going. When they try to gaslight you, keep going. When they try to discredit you, keep going. When they try to rewrite the narrative as they are doing, keep going, because they're banking on you stopping. They're banking on your exhaustion. They're hoping that our fire burns out. But if we keep going, we win, because every act sparks, a change. Every spark adds collectively together. Resistance is cumulative. Hope is contagious. And as long as we push forward, and as long as you show up and fight, change is inevitable. We must do everything, everywhere, all at once. And that requires you. So don't stop. Keep going.